Hey, it's Project 95. Still rolling, but kind of like getting down to the wire here on 12/15/95. Um, Only the closing nights in Lake Placid left, and then the New Year's run, which contains arguably the greatest not Big Cypress show of all time. Um, so I'll actually be documenting some of that from the garden. I'm going to the 29th and the 30th this year. So that'll be fun. Um, but right now I'm talking about 12/15/95 Philly. I think this was still the Spectrum, the Corestates Spectrum. Um, I didn't write the venue on there. Wonder if I was feeling okay. um, this one's like Providence for me. The only thing I really remember was they played Mallory for the first and only time. And probably for good reason. It's not. I mean, it's the Jennifer dances of 1995, maybe. Um, um, and that's the thing I remember distinctly. Everything else, kind of like Providence, was like nothing really jumped out at me in my 30 years of recollection. Like that's what I mean. But looking through the notes on it, it's starting to come back, um, which is the beauty of the Notebook. I still get. We haven't talked much about the Notebook. Um, it's very much an old school move. You don't see too many people doing it anymore, and so much so that I'll at every show I go to, I'll get somebody who's like, I can tell they're like, fuck, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I start doing that at my first show and do it every show that I've ever gone to since? Like that's so cool. And I'll always get like the fan that's like, "Oh, this guy, yo, check this out. Yeah, he's hardcore, man." And I'm just like, "Nah, I'm not really. I'm just kind of a little um obsessed with this band. I think that's more what it is than being than being hardcore." Um but it's this artifact that I look back on it pretty, I don't want to say often, but I'll, maybe 5-10 times a year I'll go back through um the notebooks and just kind of revisit some things or see if I remembered something in a correct order or if they played something instead of going to Fishnet, which is, obviously easier. This is much more fun and it's more artisan, I guess. It's more bespoke. Um, so the the notebook now is sort of this. It's kind of like a dog whistle, basically. It's just like, here comes a Phish douche, basically. Um, it wasn't so much in 95. In fact, what I ran into in 95 a lot was people wanting to borrow a piece of paper out of my notebook. That's why, I've this is This is a 50-page notebook, and I couldn't even get all the shows in. This is for the last 2 nights in I dropped it. The last 2 nights in Lake Placid, because so many people over the course of the tour be like, they'd see me with it, and they'd go, I want to do that. And they'd be like, can you spare like a sheet of paper out of that? And I'd be like, sure. And eventually I had to stop because I ran out. I had to get, I have, I think 4 something like that. So that's been a Jam Boys running joke for years. When I pull out the notebook, someone, usually Riley, will be like, can I grab a piece of that? And then they'd want to use my pen, and it was just like, or I still get this all the time. I want to look at that. I want to look at that when you're at the set break. Can I look at it? Yeah. I want to copy it down after I'm talking like that because they're usually saying this during the show while the band is playing, which makes it even worse. But regardless, it's something I'm glad. It's something I'm glad I have. Not that I'm going to like pass it on to my children or something. But for me, I'm glad I have it. Another thing that I just thought of, like a couple days ago, the main show, right? The dog log thing. I didn't realize until then that dog log is about dog shit. Like, how stupid of a person am I? I literally walked across the lawn. Walked across the lawn. Walked across the lawn, wondering where my dog done gone. Now, where my dog done gone, does it mean where he took a shit? Where he went to the bathroom? Gone? Or is the dog lost? I always thought the dog was lost. So the second verse, stepped upon a log. So I thought it was just like a log. It's log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, it's better than bad, it's good. Everyone loves a log. So then I thought, he's like, still walking, he stepped upon just a log. Stepped upon a log, walking through the fog. Stepped upon a log. And then I don't know what clicked or what was happening, but I'm like, oh, it's like a log of poo. And he's, where my dog gone, dog. It's so much better that way also. So very happy to be living in this world now, where I know that it's a song about dog shit. I feel good. All right, the second song of this show is Harry Hood. Like, and I'm listening to it right now, and it's not just like, oh, let's just phone this one in. It's the second song of the night. So perplexed by this was I gave it the old question mark, exclamation point. So in that scenario, if you didn't know, I think I did mention this earlier. A question mark a is also an exclamation point. It counts as both. It's basically saying Harry Hood. That's what I mean. Like, really? Like right now? After a nice chalk dust opener? Harry Hood? And I'm like, okay. I mean, is there a Harry Hood that doesn't just lift you up? I'm just like, this is insane right now. So Trey had a Flyers jersey on as well, as I mentioned before. He's a big Flyers fan. Kuroda's the Rangers fan, and they had beef. It might have been this New Year's run, or was it '94? I can't remember. They made Kuroda wear the Flyers jersey in the Garden. So Trey wearing a Flyers jersey, chalk dust, Hood, Wilson, Mays. Like, come on, dude. Like you don't get that kind of heat anymore. I don't. Do you? Maybe I'm going back too deep, thinking they don't do this anymore, right? But that's pretty tough to beat, unless you're Bob and you hate Mays. Which then I don't know what to tell you. It's still pretty good. Chalk dust, Hood. So they're vamping this Hood. The crowd is just fervent. And that, I dare say, is a segue. I have these all segued. You remember my rant about segues from, what was it? Was it yesterday? 2 days? Whatever. So there's more stage banter, right? And this may have something to do with being back east for them too. Like, I think they probably feel more loose. I think part of this tour was trying to get, like, part of the West Coast and moving back east through the, South and the Midwest and everything was promotional. Like, they hadn't really done, they were gaining traction, I think, with, from being just the Northeast band to being just an East Coast band to being this national band. And I think a lot of the, not focus, but maybe concern was, hey, we're going out west and we're working back this way to gain fans, to build this following that we have. And there's probably a different pressure, like, in terms of like what songs you choose and how goofy, silly you can be or you are. So if you've noticed these December Northeast shows, they've just seemed loose in terms of not just the music, but the stage banter. This show has tons of stage banter. Trey talking about, I saw my first show here at the Philly Spectrum. It was Jethro Tull. They didn't play a Jethro Tull song, which I thought was weird. Maybe because they didn't have a flute. They do Suspicious Minds again. So they're Fishmen. They do language cues in Possum. There's Papa Simpsons All Fall Down. So there's a lot. And then they do, talk about getting loose. The second set, they're just all over the place. They do this, one of his earliest rotation jams where they all move and play different instruments. A practice that would end up becoming Windora Bug and Walfredo. Like, right, they started to write songs that way. So like the Doglog stuff in Maine, the Air Band stuff in Binghamton, and then Albany. Just it's it feels like they're more comfortable being themselves, right? They're not doing this for anybody but themselves. Um, and it shows. And I think it might have something to do with that. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, so Jethro Tull thing, and they play it like ha ha ha, suspicious minds. Of course, hold your head up. Cars, trucks, buses, which is formerly known as Jazz Jam? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Is back. I feel like that's been gone for a while. At least the shows that I was at. So this kind of has a West Coast feel, right? The Suspicious Minds is back. There's a free there, free cars, trucks, buses, and then just another possum that just wants to fight you. It's just so good. This one got 3 exclamation points from yours truly. So that's pretty good for the state of my exclamation point system. Second set, they do. I didn't check the data on this, but is this one of the first Tweezer reprise the next day moves? Because they played Tweezer in Binghamton last night, and then I've been to a handful of shows where they've done that. Oh no, I want to say, did they do it in Nebraska? I think they did it in Nebraska, but I think they've started flirting with this idea this tour, the splitting the Tweezer and the Tweezer reprise and being like, remember, we didn't play it. So that just happened. Then there's a Runaway Jim, second song in the second set. I read somewhere songs like Jim, Foam are usually within the first 3 songs because they are warm up. They're finger warm up songs that are kind of get them, at least Mike and Trey, loose. We'll see it in the second set. Then it's Ice. I mean, this is another epic sequence. Tweezer reprise, Jim, Ice, Gin. Jim, Ice, Gin. And then all this, I tried to document what was happening for lack of a better way to, for lack of the term rotation jam. I have Bathtub Gin, Page, stage left, Mike and Trey on acoustic, stage right, Fishman vacuum, Trey drums, Page bass, Mike guitar, Phish piano. And this went on. I think on Fishnet it is called Rotation Jam. But think about seeing that for the first time. You're like, what? Something's going on, like for sure. Like, what is happening here? And then I did not know the song Mallory, of course. So I wrote new solo tune. Actually, I wrote new solo tune? Question mark, exclamation point, because doesn't Fishman sing it solo? But why would that be a solo tune? I don't know. I was an idiot. Dude, this set, I'm like, comma, 2001 Bowie, and then add a line to close it, but 2001 Bowie deep into set 2. And then Good Times, Bad Times, double tweezer reprise. And I was lucky enough to be at the sextuple tweezer reprise show at SPAC last summer. But here's a little tweezer. But yeah, 2001 and a 3-point Bowie, deep. But this show was that middle section of set 2 with the bathtub gin that just led into this just mayhem on the stage. But man, if you read that second set without my stupid narration, tweezer reprise, Runaway Jim, It's Ice, Bathtub Gin, 2001 Bowie, Adeline. Woof. I gotta leave you with this. The biggest story of this show was probably when I got pulled over on the way back to Syracuse from Philly. So it's like 1 a.m. I'm still in PA. And apparently I was dozing off. I don't know. Just kind of swerving around. So cops pull me over, come to the window. I'm like, what's up? And if you remember, like, my car is a target. 100% is a target. My story from Fort Hood in Texas, getting pulled over 4 times. You've seen it. It's the tour sled. It's got the Phish stickers on the back. It's got all my worldly possessions basically in the back. It's got the mattress. It's just begging to be searched basically. So they pull me over, and I'm like, I wasn't speeding, like, and I was maybe a little too brazen when I would get pulled over on tour, because I knew I didn't have anything in the car. So I'd almost go too quickly to, yeah, you can search it. And this was one of those nights, and it was just, I don't know why I did that. But they said a trucker had like CB'd me in to the cops, like, yeah, I got a guy out here, breaker 19, got your ears on. I got this guy swerving, and he's probably some dirty hippie. He's swerving all over the place. So apparently that's someone he told on me. So they pulled me over, license, registration. I do the whole thing. They're like, yeah, you got a call, you were swerving around. I'm like, I don't know. It's fucking 1 a.m. Like, I'm tired, but there's nothing against that. And then they're like, you mind if we search the vehicle? I'm like, whatever. Yeah, sure. So I go and I stand. I'm just hanging out at the end, behind the car. And they're looking around for like probably 5-10 minutes. And then they come out and they have my day planner, which was huge back in the day. I had all my friends' numbers and addresses in there. I had directions in there, photos and things. I had those photo sleeves. This is a little day planner. It was like this big or whatever. I guess it wasn't even a planner. It was an address book. And they're like, oh, what do we have here? I'm like, what? And they open up my planner or my address book, and there's like 15 of my friends' expired driver's licenses. And if some of you who are following this might remember, you may have given me your old license, which was like when you turn 21, right? The one that's not 21 anymore. So I collected them. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. Like, instead of just having a picture of your friend, you have all of their information there if you need it. So I had about 15 different licenses expired. And they're like, what do you have all these IDs for? Like, did I look like I was engaging in espionage? Like I was fucking Jason Bourne with 15 different different passports. I'm like, oh, I just collect them. He's like, well, that's a federal offense. Like, you're not allowed to have. You shouldn't have these. I'm like, they're all expired. Like, who cares? They're like, you're just. This is alarming. Like, you're not supposed to have these. They confiscated them. Like, defunct dad IDs of friends of mine. They're like, well, we're gonna have to take them. I'm like, okay, I guess. That's it. They're like, yeah, that's it. We didn't find anything else. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I was bummed because like lost those licenses. I still have some. I have Walsh's. Um, I think I have Adam Thomas's too, and they're all chalked into oblivion. um, so I'd be remiss if I didn't sort of tag this video with that story. Made it back to Lemoyne that night, and oh shit, this video is long because that was the night I came back from Philly. It was like 3 a.m, and I called Winton. Like, of all my friends, Brian Winton was the most into this whole endeavor of the tour. He wanted to know about the lights and the sound and the music and tour, and like, so he and I were in like pretty close communication about it, and he just seemed the most genuinely interested to hear. So this night, it was snowy, cold Syracuse. I pull in like 3 a.m. and my buddies were living in Harrison Hall, so I go into Harrison and I get on the phone. I call Winton, and he was living in Forey, and I'm like, dude, let's go to Serpico. And Serpico was this diner that was opened at 10 p.m. and closed at 10 a.m. And it was a hot spot for late night morons like me. But me and Winton, Johnny Cat, Geisler, we would go there regularly. So I'm like, I just, in the hopes that Winton answers, I'm like, yo, Serpico? He's like, I'll pick you up in 5 minutes. So he drives over. He had his sister's Neon, which we drove to many shows, actually. And we drove through a blizzard to get to Serpico. And just all we were talking about was the music. Different shows, and I'm talking about, here's all the tapes I have. Let's listen to this one. Let's listen to that one. And they're doing this now. And Trey and Winton's a drummer, loves Fishman. He's just like, we're talking about Phish and how amazing these guys are. And just, we go to Serpico, and all we did, we just kind of hashed out the entire tour, just like into the morning. The sun's coming up, and we were just sitting in Serpico, just eating, getting rounds of home fries and all this stuff. And it was, that was worth all of it, just for those kinds of things. So I'd be, I definitely wanted to add that. I don't know, I'm at 30 minutes now. Jesus. So anyway, Philly was a night. It was a night. And I'll see you guys in Lake Placid, New York, tomorrow night and Wednesday night for the fall tour closer. Don't be late.